Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a ATM. So what this ATM can do is it will save the amount in a data store, and you can withdraw any amount from the bank and deposit any amount into the bank from your wallet, and mainly let you choose your own personal PIN code. So let's begin. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a model for the ATM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the toolbox and go to models and search ATM. So there's a variety of ATMs here, so let me just select the first one since it's at the top. So this is the model. Yeah, it looks okay to work with. What I'm going to do first is I think it has some scripts inside it. One way I can check is search script. As you can see, there's a script. Let me just delete that because we don't need it. So since we have only the model, I'm going to keep it just as it is. And what we are going to be doing is now making a UI for this, so we can withdraw and deposit and do such things. So what you have to do is go to start UI, and I'm going to be creating a screen UI and renaming this to ATM. And then inside that I am going to be starting with the frame. This frame's properties, I'm going to keep the size at 0.5 scale, and it will be perfect. And then the position is going to be the same, 0.50, and then I'll go to the anchor point and set that to 0.5 comma 0.5 as well. So now it's perfectly in the middle. You can modify it as you like if you want, but this is how I'm going to keep it in this tutorial. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add like a corner UI corner, so it will look much aesthetic. The next thing is I'm gonna add a color to it. Let's keep it like a light blue because that's what banks usually aim at, like a light blue color. So at this point you can modify it as you like, but I'm just gonna keep it. No, this actually hurts my eye. Keep it at like a gray. Okay, and then this is going to be renamed to the main frame, and then inside that I'm going to put 2 frames. So I added 1 frame, and let me just make the size. So the size is usually going to be 0.80, and set the anchor point to 0.5, and then the position to 0.50, and then actually let me just make this size to 0.9. Okay, and then I am going to set the transparency to 1. Okay, I'm going to be naming this to home screen because I can't think of any other name for it. This frame is going to be the frame which holds all the buttons and the text box where you have to type the amount you want to withdraw or deposit. Inside this home screen I'm going to put a text button, put it somewhere in the screen. I'm just going to use my positions here, so 0.5. I'm going to make it like 0.80, something like that. Set the 0.50 here. Let me change the text to deposit. Let me just change some settings here, like example text scaled, and make it bold, and what should the color be actually? I'm gonna actually keep something like this, and then put a UI stroke in the text button as well. So let me put a UI stroke right here, and then change the UI stroke mode to border, and increase it a bit. I'm not sure if it looks pleasant, but I'm just going to keep it like this. And then what I'm going to do is rename this text button to deposit, and duplicate it and put it next to it. This is going to be renamed to withdraw, and let me just change the text to withdraw as well. Withdraw. I don't know if it's centered properly, it's not, so let me just select both of them and center it like that. The next thing we need is a text box here, and we need to script this part as well. So let me just set the position of this text box as well. So the anchor point is going to be 0.5 as well, and the size, it's actually we should use our mouse to do this part because then it's easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it something like this. The text box, the text is going to be text scaled, so when you're typing it's much more bigger. First I want it to look more numerical, if you know what I mean. So let me just try to find another font which really goes with it. Okay, this is perfect. So Jura is perfect. This is the font I'm going to be using. One more thing is I'm going to make the text box background color a bit darker, and the text color it should be white actually. Yeah, let it be white. But this is how it is. And the next thing we need to do is but if you want to add more details, like maybe the bank name and some other design details, you could do that if you like, but I'm just going to keep it basic for now because I'm only trying to make you understand how to make the scripting. There's one more thing you have to do, is the login screen for the PIN code. So you have to type the PIN code in. Let's get to that, but First, let me just show you all the deposit and the withdraw functions, and then we'll add the pin code, because for the pin code we might need data stores and stuff like that. So let's first start with this. So what this script is going to contain is bank value and a wallet value. So the wallet is going to be our personal money, and the bank is going to be whoever some money as well. So for that, let me go to serve script service and put a script. Inside this script, I'm going to rename this to anything you like, but I'm just going to rename it to ATM handler, all caps. I don't know why, but okay. So inside the script, I'm going to delete the print hello world, and we are going to be starting with game.players.player added connect to a function. So oops, why am I so bad at typing? So this event will run when the player joins the game, and what we have to do here is we are going to be creating few values. So the first value is going to be the leader stats. So this is going to be a fault. Actually, it's going to be inside the player, and the name should be leader stats. Make sure everything is simple, if not it won't show up in your game. It will be really hard to see how much value you got if it doesn't show up. So the next thing is local. We are going to be creating bank. It's going to be an int value and put it inside the leader stats, and bank dot name is going to be bank. And there's going to be another value called wallet, and it's going to be int value as well, and put it inside the leader stats and rename it to wallet. If you're not familiar with the way I did this, so I just created an int value called bank and put it inside leader stats, the folder which I just created, and then renamed it to bank, of course. So now the reason I did that is to just show you. So I'm going inside the game. So as you can see, when I'm in the game, you can see here's this people and this bank and this one. So actually, let's just start. Let's go back and add a bank value. Let's set the bank's value to, let's start with like 200, and in the wallet, let's give it like 150. No, actually 25. Let's make it broke. So you have done this. Now let's go back and turn that script off for now, because there's more stuff you have to do, guys, but for now that's done. Anyways, the next thing is I'm going to go to replicate storage and add a remote event. So this remote event is going to be called I can call it ATM event, because I'm going to be using that event to change the values. So just keep it as ATM event. And the next thing is we are going to be putting a local script inside the screen GUI, and what I'm going to be renaming this to is client, ATM client maybe. Anyways, the next thing we have to do is script this part. So script this local script and make it work with the depositing and the withdrawing. So the first thing I'm going to do is some variables. So the variables are going to be defined right now, which is ATM, which is script.parent, and mainframe, which is going to be ATM dot mainframe, and the next one is going to be home screen, which is mainframe dot home screen, and there's going to be buttons inside that, which is deposit, which is home screen dot deposit, and withdraw home screen dot withdraw. So the next thing is we need to apply the correct events for it. So what we're going to do is say deposit input began connect to a function, and let's we put input k, not k, then if k, then return it. What this is if the player is typing, it won't work. So yeah, if deposit, no. So the next thing is we have to say if input dot use input type is to nm dot use input type mask button 1, or input dot use input type equals to nm dot use input type dot touch. Then the reason I did this is so it will work with mobile as well. So yeah, let's just put that equals as well. So this is the whole script right now, but let me just zoom in and add the other parts. So the next thing I forgot to mention is we'll come back up here and get replicate storage, and then we will get after we get replicate storage, we are going to be getting ATM event, the event we just created. So storage ATM event. The next part is So whenever the player clicks deposit, we have to make sure the player has the amount and we can deposit the amount. So as you can see on this, I forgot to take the text box, the variables. So let me just type text box variables, home screen dot text box. Alright, so in the script we have to first see if the player typed a number, then we need to make it work. So to check if it's a number, we can use the function toNumber. So let me show you how. Entered number, text box stop text, but we are going to be cutting that part off and say toNumber and then put it inside that brackets, and now it will be false if it's if it doesn't change. So we're going to say if entered number, then, so what this means is if the entered number is true, if the entered number actually a digit, a number digit, then it will work. If not else, one on the numerical digits allowed, something like that. Anyways, now we can actually test it if you want to see. So let me just cut this part and put it inside. It will be way better. And now let me just play and see if that part works well. The output out, clear that, and just put this deposit, only numerical digits allowed. But if I just put numbers, I don't think it will say anything because that's a numerical digit. So that works. Go back to the script and come back here, entered number. So since we have the entered number, now we have to check one thing, which is if you want to deposit to the bank, your wallet should have that amount as well. We have to do a quick check. I'm going to be checking through the client, so that will open so much backdoors for the hackers to do their thing. So what we have to do is check it in the server as well. So to avoid any lag, we are going to be doing it both ways. We're going to check in the client side and then the server side as well. So that, let me go back up here and get the player as well. So game.players.local player, and let me get the player's wallet. So it's going to be from the leader stats, player wait for child, leader stats, and wallet leader stats, wait for child, wallet, and let's even get the bank, leader stats, wait for child, bank. Let's come back to the entity number here, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to say if wallet dot value is bigger or equals to the entered number, then. So what this does is this will verify if we have enough money or it will not work. Okay, so we're gonna put else here and say one, you don't have enough money, little bro. Over here we're gonna start depositing, so let's just say print attempting to deposit, and then let's put this just to check. So attempted to deposit, just a space and then comma entered number. Then let's see if it works. So let me pull out the output, make it bigger, and let's put 50 and deposit. You don't have enough money, little bro. Okay, let's put 15, attempting to deposit 15. As you can see, it works, but now we have to actually make it deposit the 15, right? To do that, all you have to do is ATM event file server and the entered number. We're going to be giving a code, like a string value code, to the server to let the server know what type of transaction this is. It's going to be a deposit transactions. I'm going to say in quotation marks, I'm going to say deposit with the entered number. So now we are gonna go to the ATM handler again, come back to the ATM client and copy this part of the script and come back here and paste it, and then let's say ATM on server event connect to a function. So what the event will return is a player and then whatever you passed down here, so entered number and deposit. So we are going to be saying entered number, deposit, status. So the status could be anything. It could be deposit or it could be withdraw, anything. So we keep that status, and entered number is going to be just enter. You can even rename this to cat and it would still be the entered number we're getting. So just keep it entered number so we won't be caught up in a big confusion. So the next thing we have to do is here run another check. So let me go back to the ATM client and copy this whole part except the player and come back here and paste it and just replace this here. So so we have the latest stats in server side as well. So here what we're going to say, if status equals to deposit, then then we are going to be rechecking if the wallet value is right. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. So this will avoid any exploitations, because the server cannot be manipulated. The server is for everyone and no one can hack the server side. So this how you do it. The next thing is since we have the high wallet value, the first thing I'm going to recommend is a wallet value minus equals to entered number, so it will remove the specific number from the wallet, and then from the bank we have to add the wallet value, so plus entered number. So this should work, guys. Let's hope this works, and there's no problem here. So if we have done everything well, the deposit should be working really well right now. So I'm going to now test it and see if we are going on the right path. Okay, so we're in the game and we have 25 in the wallet, so I'm going to actually put 5 to the wallet to deposit, and we got an error. Let me just check what's wrong. Oops, my bad, guys. It's just a typo. It should be a capital V instead of simple. 5 and deposit. As you can see, it works, guys. The withdraw doesn't work yet, but the deposit works. So 205. Let me just, oh no, we won't have that much, right? Yeah, well, let's just put the whole 20 in, and as you can see, the whole amount is in the bank right now, but it's not saved yet. So if you leave the game, it's not going to affect anything. The next thing is we have to do the withdrawing part. So let me go back to the ATM client. We're gonna do the same thing but with the withdraw button. So withdraw, put began connect to a function and say input, and if not k, then if k, then return, and we'll say if input use input type equals to nm dot use input type mouse button 1 or input dot use input type nm dot use input type touch. Then so we did literally the same which we did in this part, and same with the entered number as well. So let's just copy paste it here. Let's say if, in fact, let's just copy this whole part here, okay, inside the script, just paste it here. I don't know why I had to rewrite all of them, but we're going to change one thing here, which is this part. So we're going to delete that and say print attempting to withdraw, and then just put a comma and just enter number. And we need to change this part as well. We need to see if you have enough in the bank, so we're going to replace this wallet with the bank. That's it. That's all we have to do in this part. And here we have to just pass the event. So it's going to be the ATM event, fire server I mean, and we are going to be putting the entered number and the type, which is going to be withdraw. Now let's go back to the ATM handler, and over here we're going to come to this line over this part and say else if, oops, no, not that part. We're going to come to this line here and say else if status equals to withdraw. Then we're gonna copy this part right here again, just to verify from the server side as well. Let me just put this comment down here too. And then what we're gonna do here is we are going to be minusing it from the bank value. We should just do the total opposite here, okay? The total opposite of the deposit event. So bank.value minus entered number and wallet.value plus equals to entered number. So this will do the total opposite. So now this should be working. Now let me just deposit. No, let's actually withdraw the whole 200. As you can see in the wallet we have 225. I only put like 75. No, let's keep it 72. Let's keep it 72 and deposit. And as you can see, it's working well. So the bank has 72 and the wallet has 153. Now since we're done with that, there's a few more stuff to do. We have to make it so we can only open this in the ATM, and we need to put a pin code to it. So let's first do the opening part. So what I'm going to do for that is drag this into the ATM. So there's different ways you can do it, but the best way I will do it is go to the ATM, drag it to the ATM and put a script in the ATM and drag it inside that script and put a proximity prompt on the ATM as well, so when you're getting close to it you can trigger it and then go in, rename the script anything you want. I just say ATM, just name it ATM script, something like that. I'm really bad at naming, guys, so don't come at me for that. But here we're gonna save local ATM model, which is script's parent, and then the proximity prompt, which is ATM model with child proximity prompt, and we are going to be calling an event called proximity prompt.trigger to connect to a function. So what this will return is the player. So what the trigger does is whenever you press E or when you tap on it, it will just run and it will return the player. And what you have to do here is don't forget to get the ATM UI. So let me just ATM UI equals to script dot parent, script dot ATM, so script with child ATM. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just get the play GUI, so player GUI, play with child GUI. So the play GUI is inside every player, and when we find the play GUI, we're gonna say if play GUI find first child ATM, then we are going to be destroying that ATM. So we're going to say game get service debris add item, and we are gonna copy this and paste it inside, and then put like a 1, no, actually 0.1, and then we are going to be cloning. So we're going to say locus C equals to ATM UI clone and C dot parent equals to player GUI. Oh, my bad, guys. Put this outside here. So yeah, that's how you do this part. So so now this should open the ATM up. If it doesn't, let's work it out and see what's wrong. But let me just play and check it out. Okay, guys, I just noticed we should do one more thing, which is this proximity prompt won't pop up. So what you have to do is find the keypad. I found the keypad and I put it in that because it should be in somewhere where like it's a base part so that it can detect. You could even use a click detect if you like, but I'm going to be using the proximity prompt. Let me just change it in the script as well. So ATM model with a child and add the keypad. Okay, now let me just check it out. So let me just run all the way there. Okay, so as you can see, it works, but it does not delete yet. So we need to put like an X button to delete it. But as you can see, it's working. Just had to put like an X button here. That's doable. Let's just do that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this ATM UI to the started UI again, and we're going to be adding a X button and another UI as well, which is going to be the pin code. So let me just add a text button, which is the size is going to be like 050, and then the text code is on, and the text is going to be an X, and just make it like that. And maybe the text color is going to be like white, and the background color is going to be like a red with a corner UI, and this corner UI is gonna be like 25, so it'll be circular. And then let me just drag this to the corner here. I think if I do that, it will probably mess up, right? Oh no, it didn't. Okay, so yeah, let it be like that for now. I think it's okay like that. Maybe just angle it a bit more and just call it exit button. So let's just script that as well. So we are going to be saying we're going to come down here and say mainframe.exit button. For that, I'm just gonna the input began connect to a function input. We could even say mouse button one click, but I just used input. I just got used to it, but you could actually, let me just show you the other way. could just say mouse button, oops, mainframe dot exit button dot mouse button one click. You can even use that if you want. And then we just say ATM destroy. This should be working well. So let me just drag this back to the key card, to this ATM script here. And whoops, I'm just even drag this ATM to the spawn location. Okay, so we're in the game now, so let me just interact and click on this. So it works now, guys. As you can see, we can withdraw and deposit as well. So let me just now move on to the next part, which is saving the pin code and being able to type it. So let me just drag the UI back to start UI and make this like make this 0. And what we're going to do is we are going to do one more thing, which is we are going to be clicking on the mainframe, clicking on the home screen and setting the visibility to false and duplicating the home screen and just renaming it to login screen. And then inside of login screen we are going to be making it visible under the login screen. And then we're going to be deleting one button and we are going to be keeping something like this. And what this is going to be is a login button. So let me just rename this deposit button to login button and put the text to login. And the text box is just going to remain text box for now. Actually no, I'm going to rename it to pin code text box. Okay, so we have the pin code text and the login button. Now we have to set up the login screen. For that we need to know the passcode. So for that we are gonna go to serve script service and go to the ATM handler and start making some new changes, new data store changes, and then we are gonna go back to the local script. So the first thing we're gonna do here is say local pin code instance.new. It's gonna be an int value. Actually it's gonna be int value, and it's gonna be not inside the lead stats but inside the player, because it's not supposed to be public unless you want it public. But yeah, pin code dot value is gonna be 0000. So this is technically gonna not work. I'm sorry guys, this should be a string value, and then this is gonna be 0000. So all the pin codes always start with 000, and then you're able to change the pin code to whatever you like. So the pin code value is 000, and the pin code name, I forgot to set that, so let me just set that as well. It's gonna be pin code. And okay, so now we have to save these values, so let's do that. So let's go up here and say data store service. This game gets service, data store service, and data store, and then we're going to say data store, which is data store service get data store, and then put anything you want for this. It's going to be the scope, it's just a string, and make sure you don't change this, then every pin code will be lost. And then we're going to come back here and actually let's go out of this event for now and say game player removing connect to a function. Function it's gonna be player, and we are going to be getting the entire variables for this. We can't use this, we need to come separately. We should again get them back. So let's say local leader stats player.leader stats and local bank equals leader stats bank, local wallet equals to leader stats wallet, and finally local pin code equals to leader stats player dot pin code. And then we are going to say local data and then squiggly brackets and just say leader stats bank dot value, wallet dot value, and pin code dot value. That's that's how we're going to save it. And then we are going to be saying local s e equals to pcall function, and inside this we're going to say data store set async, and we're just going to say bank account details hash dot player dot user id. I'll explain all of this in a bit, guys. Let me just write everything down, and then we just save the data, and we're going to come out of here and say if not s then 1. So what we're going to do here is we created a data array which is holding all the information which needs to be saved, and then this is a pcall function, which means this is successful and this is the error. So whatever runs inside this, and if you get an error, then this will be the error and this will be false, the success will be false. So if the success is false, then it will warn what the error was. If it was successful, then this would never run because it was successful, which means it's true. That's what it means. I don't know if you understood that, but if you want more like explanation on certain stuff, just ask in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer that. So this should save, but now we should retrieve the saved data as well. So here actually, let me just put else. If else print, actually just keep it 1, saved your data. And now let's go back up here, and now we need to get the data. So we're going to do the same local s e pickoff function, and we're going to go up here and say local data, and then here data equals to data store get async. So we are going to be copying the same thing. It should be the same, so make sure it's the same, guys, then it will retrieve the correct data, and there's not going to be a second parameter. And then we're going to come here and say if not data, then if there's no data, it's most likely that the player is new to the game. But if there is data, so actually let me just say if data, and then else the player is new to the game. If the player is new to the game, we can do something else here, but player already has data. If the player is not new to the game, then there will be data, and the data will be assigned in a way that if you don't know how arrays work, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and it just goes like that, right? Full like that. So that's how we need to get it. So we're gonna say, so the first one is bank value, so bank dot value equals to data 1, wallet dot value equals to data 2, and pin code dot value equals to data 3. That's what we have to do. So it will set the correct values, and now we are going to actually test it, because now it's supposed to save, right? So let's just test it. So let me just drag this ATM UI back to the keypad. Okay, so let me just test it out. Let me just check the output. Always check the output, guys. As you can see, we already got an error. So what's the error? Oh, I'm so dumb. This should be in the script, not in the keypad. My bad, guys. Okay, so I'm going to interact, and it's asking a login code, so we can't actually test it. So what I'm going to do is actually, just for now, I'm gonna go to the server side and go to the player values and change the values a bit. So I'm gonna make the bank like 150 and the wallet 75. So it's technically like I deposited. I withdrew 50. So now let's go back to the game. Let's get it has changed. Let me just leave. So, oh yes, we got an error because I forgot we have to publish the game. So let me just quickly do that and then be right back. Okay guys, once it's published, just go to home and then go to game settings and go to security and then enable API requests. Enable studio access to API services. So just enable it and click on save, and now it should be working. So let me just try that again. But before that, let me just go to the ATM and go to the mainframe and set the login screen visible to false and set the home screen to true so that we can check it out. Okay, so now let's just check it out if it's working or not. So interact, and then let's send like 15. Let's deposit, and now I am going to be leaving the game and joining back and seeing if I have a new balance. So let me just see if we got any errors. Oh yes, I just noticed that it hasn't saved, because when it saves it's supposed to give us a message, right? Saved your data. It hasn't saved, and that's pretty easy to fix. I've already shown in another video how to fix it, but it's a really easy way. All you have to do is, actually I forgot, let me just check it. So what you have to say is game bind to close function, and then like wait 1 second, maybe that will help. So let me just jump back and do the same again. Oh, never mind, it actually saved, guys, my bad. So as you can see, now we have 10 in the wallet and 215 in the wallet, and 215 in the bank. So it actually saves, guys. Yeah, but in case, just put this small line of code, because when you leave, sometimes it doesn't save. It needs some time to save, so just make sure that it saves. So now that the saving part is done, it surely saves the pin code as well. Now we just have to script the pin code into this, then into the UI. So let me just drag the UI back to the starter UI just to script with it. So let me go into the ATM client and start doing the pin code script. So over here, let me just make a new variable called player wait for child pin code, and then the pin code's value. So need to be checked to log in. So we're gonna come back here and we are gonna say, oh no, let's actually go back to this and let's get the new screen, which is gonna be the login screen. So atm.login, oops, where is it, mainframe login screen, and come back here and we are gonna specifically say login screen, login screen dot visible true and home screen dot visible false, and then we have to set it true once the player logs in. So what you have to do there is let's get the variables for the login screen as well. So login button, just login screen dot login button, and the login text box or something like that, I don't remember, but it's something related. Oh yeah, pin code text box. So I'm just copy this and replace it. So the pin code text box, whenever the player types and logs in, it has to work. So login button, mouse button, click connect to a function, and we're gonna say, oh actually we should use this, my bad guys, let's use this. So input began, input k, and so here we are going to be technically saying we need to check the pin code text box. So I'm going to say entered pin, which is going to be pin code text box dot text, and then we need to compare it to the numbers. It's going to be entered pin, so we need to compare. So we're going to say if entered pin equals to pin code dot value, make sure both are toString, and when this is toString, then the pin code is correct, but we need to run few checks. We need to run the check in the ATM as well, so in the server side. So what I'm going to do for that is actually come back to the ATM handler and come back here, else if status equals to check, then pin or something like that. Then we're gonna say we're gonna copy this, come back here, if entered number, pin code, then yeah, and come back to this top and get the pin code. Data stats with child pin code. So we are making sure even in the server side it's the correct thing. So it's gonna be entered number instead, because we are gonna be putting entered number here. So enter number. So return true, else return false, and we're gonna say local check. Now actually let's just remove this and say ATM event fire server entered pin and check pin cities. Okay, print logging in, and for logging in all you have to do is say log screen dot visible to false, home screen dot visible equals to true. And now let's play, guys, and let's see if it works. The pin code is supposed to be 4 zeros, so 0 0 0. Okay, so it does not work. Let me just check why. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I checked to lead stats here. Let me just put player and even put the UI back in the ATM, but right now I'm just gonna keep it here because it will still work. It just won't work in the ATM, but it will work in the game. So now let me just check 0 0 0 0. It does not work. Let me just see what's wrong. Oh yes, guys, because it's not returning because the check we're running is not in a remote function. It's a remote event, and in a remote event it does not wait for the callback. So what we're going to do for now is we are not going to be changing all the script. We are just going to be using this and just pasting it here for now. If you want me to use a remote function and do it again, please let me know, but I don't think it's really necessary in this point. So just put entered pin back here, and now let's see if it works. 0 login, as you can see, logged in. So that works. Now we'll head on to the next part, which is gonna be changing the login pin, the pin code, so that the player doesn't have to use the default pin code. So for that, what I'm gonna actually do is I'm just gonna add a new button in the same place. So I think I'll just duplicate this and say change pin, maybe something like that, and I'm gonna change the text to that as well. Change pin, and just maybe just reduce the size and put it somewhere in this corner, I guess, somewhere there. So for that change pin button, we can, if you want, we can make a new screen for it, but I'm just gonna make it quick. I don't want to waste much time. I'm just gonna put a text box right next to it, and this is gonna let you change the pin as well. So I'm just gonna rename that text box to something else, like change pin text box. And so in that way I'm gonna be making it so that the player can type a new pin and just change it real quick. So let's just go back to the ATM client, and let's go all the way down here and say logins, home screen, change pin, must input pin connect to a function, input.k, and let's just paste this, and we're gonna just say if home screen local entered number. It should always be a number, so local entered number is pin code text box, right? The text, it should be inside a true number, and if entered number, if entered number, then we are going to be using the entered number to change the pin code. So just gonna say so we're gonna make sure that it's correct, which is a number, and we're gonna make sure if the entered number is a 4-digit number. That's important, so because most banks have this, but if you don't want that, just skip this part for now. But I'm just show you how to make it a 4-digit number as well. So it's pretty easy. So for that, we have to do is say local. So here we're gonna say local length next to pin code string dot length len and then say pin code text box dot text. I'm gonna say here I'm gonna say if entered number and length is smaller or equals to 4, no, it's actually should be equals to 4, so 4, then print changing code to or changing pin code to, and then entered number, and then we are going to say ATM event fire server entered number change. Now let's go back to the ATM handler and just come back here and say else if status is to change. Then we're gonna say we're just going to change it straight up. We don't have to do any checks. Pin code value is to entered number in toString. Okay, so now this should actually work. Let me just take a look and see if it works. If it does not work, then there's something wrong, and we'll see what's wrong. Okay, so just ignore this error for now. That's just because it's not in the ATM, as I said before. So for now it's going to be 0, and we are going to be checking the pin code right now at 0. And we are gonna just try to change it to something else. Okay, so I'm noticing an error, which is entered number is wrong. Let me just check why. So okay guys, so I just noticed why the problem is occurring, because I'm so stupid. So I have been checking for the pin code text box, which is somewhere else. This is for the login screen, so I shouldn't be checking for the login screen, right? I should be checking for the new one, which is this, which is change pin text box. So let me just go back here and replace this to home screen, change pin text box. Let me just do that with the rest of this. Okay, this should probably fix that issue. Let me just check it out, and if it does not, then it's gonna be sad. But 000 to login, and then let's change our pin to something like this. And as you can see, change the pin and pin code. It has not changed here. Let me just look why. Oh, cause okay. So what I did wrong again is statuses are different. Here it's changed, and here it's changed. So let me just remember the changed part. I'm so stupid, guys. I'm sorry for that. Now let's play it again and let's check it out one last time. So 000, and let's change the pin to something like this. So it's 2527. So let's see if it changed in here. Okay, so it changed. Now we are gonna be leaving and joining and seeing if it's 2527. So let me just join back again. So 000, it's not working. 2527. As you can see, guys, it finally works, and you can change pin here. Maybe you can put this in a different screen, but for now this is how I kept it, because I don't want the video to be longer than this. I've been already recording for 1 hour. I don't think the whole cut will make it in, but so this is how you do it, guys. And you can deposit, withdraw, and change the pin as well. So now for the whole thing to be working, let me just drag this into the script, and let's do one final play, and let's see if everything is done and dusted. Alright, so we're gonna go here, interact, login to 527, right? Oh yeah, and let's change the pin to 50. It won't change if it's this, if it's like above 4 digits, so make sure it's like on the 4. And then let me just, I'll try to withdraw 200. Okay, and now so I put it 50-50. Let me just try to log back with 50-50. Okay, so it works. Now let me just leave and join and see if my bank has 15 and the wallet has whatever the number was, I don't even remember, but yeah, 15 and 210. So it works, guys. So this is how it is, and I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please subscribe if you wanna know more about Roblox, and if you have any more ideas, please let me know in the comment section so I can do it for you guys. But I'm on the road to getting monetized, so please guys, please subscribe and keep watching all my videos. And I've posted some other videos as well which I really think you will like, so please give it a watch. And the next thing is, you will always find the model to everything I do here in the description, so please go check it out and you can get this ATM into your game as well. Anyways, see you guys in the next video, and peace.